We live in a world that worships complexity. The more steps in a method, the more credible it seems. The longer the ritual, the more powerful it must be. But what if I told you that the reason your manifestations aren't working has nothing to do with what you're missing? What if the problem is everything you've been adding? Quantum manifestation isn't complicated. It's devastatingly simple. And that simplicity is precisely why most people will never get it. Because in a culture that equates effort with worthiness, the idea that reality responds to coherence, not complexity, sounds too easy to be true. But here's what quantum physics actually shows us: the field doesn't care about your 10-step morning routine. It doesn't measure your dedication by how many affirmations you repeat. The quantum field responds to one thing and one thing only: your state of being. Not your doing. Your being. And most people are so busy doing that they never learn how to be. Let me be clear. This isn't about positive thinking. This isn't about vision boards or manifesting journals, though those can be tools. This is about understanding how consciousness literally structures reality at the quantum level. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. The problem is, we've been taught backwards. We've been told to chase our desires, to push for our goals, to make things happen through sheer force of will. And all of that, every single bit of it, sends the same message to the quantum field. I don't have it. I'm separate from it. I need to acquire it. That vibration of separation is what keeps your manifestation at a distance. Not your lack of effort. Your effort itself. Here's something most manifestation teachers won't tell you, either because they don't know it or because it doesn't sell courses: the quantum field is not a vending machine. It's a mirror. A perfect, unbiased, instantaneous mirror of your internal state. Every thought you think generates an electrical signal. Every emotion you feel creates a magnetic field. Together, these form what neuroscientist Dr. Joe Dispenza calls your electromagnetic signature. This signature broadcasts constantly, like a radio tower transmitting a signal into the quantum field. And the field, being perfectly neutral, reflects that signal back to you as your lived experience. Most people are broadcasting static. Their thoughts say, "I want abundance," while their emotions scream, "I'm broke." Their affirmations declare, "I am loved," while their nervous system vibrates with loneliness. The field doesn't listen to your words. It reads your frequency. And when your frequency is incoherent, split between what you say you want and what you actually embody, the field gives you more of the same: confusion, delay, mixed results. This is where neuroscience becomes critical. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a lived experience and a vividly imagined one. When you imagine something with emotional intensity, your brain fires the same neural networks it would if that thing were actually happening. This is called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself based on repeated mental patterns. But here's the key: you can't just think it. You have to feel it. Because thoughts without emotion are like seeds without water. They might have potential, but they never take root. When you combine a clear mental image with the elevated emotion of already having it, gratitude, peace, joy, you create coherence. And coherence is the language the quantum field understands. In quantum mechanics, there's a phenomenon called wave function collapse. Before observation, a particle exists in a state of superposition, meaning it's everywhere and nowhere at once, pure potential. But the moment it's observed, the wave collapses into a single, definite reality. You are the observer. And your life is the wave function. Every possible version of your future exists right now in quantum superposition. The version where you're financially free. The version where you're in a loving relationship. The version where you're living your purpose. These aren't fantasies. According to quantum theory, they are real, existing potentials in the field. Your job isn't to create them. It's to collapse into the one you want. But not all observation is equal. Observation infused with fear collapses one reality. Observation infused with trust collapses another. This is why desperation repels. Desperation is observation through the lens of lack, and lack is what gets mirrored back. Certainty, on the other hand, is magnetic. When you observe your desired reality from a place of calm knowing, not hoping, not wishing, but knowing, you align with the frequency of that timeline. And the wave begins to collapse in your favor. Neville Goddard understood this long before quantum physics could explain it. He called it living from the end. Not living toward the end. From it. As if it's already done. Because in the quantum field, it already is. The question isn't whether your desire exists. It's whether you're vibrating at the frequency where you can perceive it. Let's talk about the mechanics. Because if you're going to rewire your reality, you need to understand the instrument, you. Your brain is electric. Your heart is magnetic. And when these two are in sync, you become a quantum transmitter of immense power. This isn't metaphor. This is measurable. The HeartMath Institute has documented that the heart's electromagnetic field is 5,000 times stronger than the brain's. When your heart and brain enter coherence, aligned in the same emotional and mental frequency, your signal amplifies exponentially. This is why meditation works. Not because it's mystical, but because it creates coherence. When you slow your breathing, focus your attention, and elevate your emotion, your brainwaves shift from high beta, stress, survival, to alpha and theta, creativity, receptivity. In this state, you're no longer reacting to your environment. You're programming it. Dr. Dispenza's research shows that people who practice this daily begin to experience measurable changes, not just in their mindset, but in their biology. Gene expression shifts. Immune function improves. Neural pathways reorganize. The body literally becomes the evidence of a new reality before that reality manifests externally. This is the bridge between science and spirituality. You're not just visualizing. You're becoming. And when the body believes it, the field responds. But here's where most people fail. They meditate once, feel good for an hour, then spend the rest of the day in doubt, scarcity, and reactivity. That's like charging your phone to 10% and expecting it to last all day. Manifestation requires energetic discipline. Not perfection, but consistency. You have to return, again and again, to the frequency of your desired reality. Until it becomes more familiar than your current one. There's a cruel irony in manifestation. The harder you try, the more you affirm what you don't have. Because trying implies distance. It implies you're here and your desire is over there, and you need to cross some vast gap to reach it. But quantum reality doesn't work in distance. It works in resonance. You don't move toward your desire. You tune into its frequency. And once you're tuned in, it moves toward you. Effortlessly. This is what Abraham Hicks means by getting into the vortex. The vortex isn't a place. It's a state. A state of allowing. A state where resistance dissolves and you stop blocking what's already trying to reach you. Most people are standing in their own way. They're so focused on when, how, and why it hasn't happened yet that they miss the subtle shifts happening all around them. The new thought. The unexpected call. The intuitive nudge. These aren't coincidences. They're the field reorganizing itself in response to your new frequency. But you'll only notice them if you stop looking for proof and start living as proof. This is the shift from manifestation as transaction to manifestation as transformation. You're not asking the universe for something. You're becoming the version of you who already has it. And that version doesn't beg. Doesn't chase. Doesn't wait. That version simply is. There's a feeling you need to cultivate. It's not excitement, that's too high, too unstable. It's not hope, that still contains doubt. The feeling you're looking for is inevitability. A deep, bone-level knowing that what you desire is not a matter of if, but when. And even when starts to feel irrelevant because the certainty is so complete. This is the frequency that collapses timelines. This is the state where synchronicities multiply. Where opportunities appear out of nowhere. where reality bends to accommodate your new identity. You'll know you're in this state when you stop checking. When you stop asking, where is it? When you stop analyzing every little sign. Because you're no longer in the energy of waiting. You're in the energy of knowing. And knowing doesn't need validation. This is mastery. Not control. Not force. But alignment so complete that the universe has no choice but to reflect it back to you. Let me speak directly to the part of you that's been listening this entire time. The part beneath your conscious thoughts. The part that knows. You've been waiting for permission. Permission to stop struggling. Permission to believe it can be easy. Permission to trust that you're not broken, not behind, not doing it wrong. Here's your permission: you were never separate from what you desire. The gap was always an illusion. A story your mind told you to make sense of the delay. But the delay wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Preparation for you to become the frequency that can hold what you're calling in. And now you're ready. Not because you've done enough. But because you've remembered enough. You've remembered that manifestation isn't about acquiring. It's about aligning. And alignment isn't something you do. It's something you allow. So let this be the moment. Not tomorrow. Not after you've finished your morning routine or completed your vision board. Right now. Let this be the quantum moment where the wave collapses. Where you stop chasing and start embodying. Where you release the myth of effort and embrace the truth of coherence. Because the version of you who has everything you desire, that version already exists. And every time you choose to feel as they feel, think as they think, and act as they act, you collapse the distance between who you are and who you're becoming. Until one day, there is no distance at all. There's just you. Living the reality you once only imagined. If this message reached you, it wasn't by accident. The quantum field doesn't make mistakes. You're here because something in you is ready to shift. Ready to stop waiting and start becoming. So here's what I want you to do. In the comments below, type, "I am quantum." Not as a wish. Not as a hope. But as a declaration. As a stake in the ground. As a signal to the field that you're no longer operating from lack, but from coherence. And when you do, pay attention. Pay attention to what shifts in the next 24 hours. The thoughts that come. The synchronicities that appear. The clarity that emerges. Because when you declare your alignment, the field responds. Always. And if you're ready to go deeper, to make this a daily practice, to become part of a community that understands the science and the sacredness of quantum manifestation, subscribe to this channel. This isn't just content. This is frequency work. And every video is designed to recalibrate your nervous system, to rewire your subconscious, to help you become the version of you who doesn't chase, but attracts. Because you're not here to learn how to manifest. You're here to remember that reality has always been responding to you. And the moment you stop trying and start aligning, that's when everything changes. Welcome to quantum manifestation. It's simple. And now you get it.